Okay. Welcome back to the African Healing Podcast, viewers. My name is Dr. Sherry Mamjara Tao. And before we get started, let's listen to our favorite song.
That's so sweet. That's Kabbalah vibe. River Gambia.
The River Gambia. So we have a special guest with us today. We were planning to have Bayo with Supply Chain Africa join us, but he has some scheduling conflicts. So we're trying to get him on the show next week, on the podcast with us next week. But as you know, the forces would have it, the universe, the forces in the universe would have it. We were able to have a rising star, another rising star from the Gambia join us today. And guess what? He has a background in business, entrepreneurship, and he knows about Supply Chain Africa. So maybe we should start with, the information that you have, and you could tell us more about, how we need to connect. I love your bio.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I would like to introduce our special guest, Mr. Tom Fofana from the Gambia. And he has a degree in hospitality, and he's been working in different areas from the Gambia to Ireland. You're in Ireland now, correct?
I am in the Republic of Ireland, yes.
Yes, and so you are working on Safaro, which has to do with trading. We'll have you explain that in a minute. But
Correct.
I love the fact that you said that one of your mission is to connect communities, right? And so, yeah, please introduce yourself, Mr. Tom Fofana.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sherry, for having me here today. I'm so happy to be here today, talk to you and talk to all our viewers everywhere in the world. We thank you, everyone, for watching or listening to us here today. Doctor, basically, to cut the long story short, I was born in the Gambia, in a place called Jara, LRR. And I have done my education in the Gambia, from Tahir to Gambia College School of Education. So I was taught as a teacher in the Gambia. So I was a teacher in the Gambia before I traveled to the UK. And when I came to UK, like in my bio, you've seen I've done a lot of courses in different fields. Okay. And I end up working in hospitality. So I work in lots of hotels in the UK. Most of them in the cities have been from London to Reading to Bristol to Birmingham to York City. So I've been everywhere before I moved to the Republic of Ireland, which is in Europe. So basically, this is the long story short about my my movement from Gambia to the UK. And yeah.
Okay, so there's a song, it's called I've Been Everywhere, Man. So you're the everywhere man. Well, we are so fortunate to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of good stuff that we go over, and we're going to have a great conversation. So sit back, relax, folks. It's Sunday. Thank you for checking in with us. And
thank you very much.
Yeah. So, all right. Tell us where you are right now as far as, well, explain to our viewers about supply chain and how does the African Trade Agreement apply to the work you're doing, and how involved are you in trade?
Okay. But basically, the reason why I'm here is the launching of my e-commerce marketplace, which is coming very soon live. Um, and basically, it links to the supply chain, which you just mentioned.
Mhm.
I used to work for a shipping company, so I was a freight forwarder. When I moved to Ireland here, that's the course I did. I went to Irish International Freight Forwarding Association. I did a course there, and I had a diploma in supply chain. So basically, I was shipping containers from Ireland, from Europe to Canada, from America to Asia, Middle East, and Africa. So I understand all the shipping routes going to Africa, and I also have a knowledge of what are the problems that we Africans face in terms of shipping or maybe sending goods from Africa to all over the world. But the most important thing that fascinates me is that, yes, Africans, we can get anything in Africa from anywhere in the world, but to, I mean, get our items from Africa to sell them to the world, to send them over the world is the problem.
Ah,
So this two-way street is not level at all. We can buy anything from Europe, from America, and send it to Africa. But if we have something in Africa to send to Europe, it's a big problem for all Africans. Hence, if you look at our industrial areas, especially our farming sector, which is the backbone of our economy, we can grow anything in Africa, but where can you sell them?
yeah,
Only within Africa, short distance.
yeah.
So these are some of the things that I've seen. And also, not only that, but when it comes to production in Africa, you produce your goods, especially when it comes to food, the preservation of food is a problem. Africans, and packaging also is a problem. I will explain how Safaro can help in all these areas, because
Please.
though we cannot do all, but this is why we come out with this idea to come to the
I mean,
people, our community, to see how
yeah.
we can work together, how each and everybody can do something to at least reduce poverty. You
Mhm.
know, everybody wants something. We all have to go to the market, to buy stuffs. But how many of us are selling? And
Right.
we don't use all these things all the time. The other things, even in your own house there, if I look around you there, I can pick up something that you use for a while.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere, is going to need this thing. So to have a little bit of quid out of that, it's not a bad thing. It
Mhm.
helps you, it helps the other person as well.
Okay.
So this is the reason why we are coming in with the Safaro idea.
Okay. So what will be available on the Safara e-commerce marketplace?
Fantastic. That's a wonderful question. Thank you very much, Doctor. Safaro in the first place because like I have involved in charity organizations when I was in the UK. Uh, like I told you, I come from Jara, LRR. The people in that community living in the United Kingdom come together to make a community. And we formed this charity organization called UK Jara Association. And we have a slogan called Give Back to Our People. So we help schools, we help hospitals, we help individuals, we help the disabled people, and the disaster reliefs as well. I was a trustee and I was in charge of media and PR. During that time, I had a lot of experience dealing with people.
Mhm.
So the reason now I'm not a trustee because the term was finished. So other guys also stepped in to run the organization. But since I stepped out, I was thinking how to connect with people again. But this time, I want to involve each and everybody one by one. Every door I want to knock, talk to people. Either you have a business, you want an empowerment, you are starting up, you need a logo, you need a branding, you need a flyer, you need a promotion. Safaro can do it for you. You need packaging is something that we are looking into to supply to our people. But more importantly, what we are giving people free anywhere, anytime, is that you can post anything on Safaro to sell it online, or you can buy it from there. The rest we will take care of that. We'll make sure that you're posting what you post, what you are selling, get to everywhere in the world, if
Wow.
possible.
Wow, we
Yeah.
a long way, my friend. So where do we begin? I mean, how, Africa right now is trading, well, maybe 3 years ago, about 16% across the continent. Meanwhile, Europe trades with other European countries, like 70% or more. So we're like
Correct.
really low trading with nations in Africa, on the
Correct.
continent. So we're trying
Correct.
to increase that with the African Free Trade Agreement. How do you foresee us
Okay.
trading across the continent more?
Fantastic. Thank you. You see, the whole idea about the reason why Europe one is increasing and Africa is still at the bottom is, you need to know, if you know what to buy, where to buy it, how to buy it is very easy. European market, they are all over the internet. We see them on the TVs. We see them on Facebook. You see them on eBay, on Amazon. They have all kinds of platforms that Africa was lacking. If there is something in Ghana and I am in the Gambia and I want that thing, if I can't see it, I can't buy it. This is why Safaro e-commerce comes in. Somebody in Ghana can post something and somebody in the Gambia seen it. And the same thing that you can get from, like other countries as well.
Right.
And the Africa to African businesses is what we need to put our economies up. There is free trade. Movement of goods is free from one country to the other. So logistic is now the biggest question, which I'm sure also there is a way out. Africa is stepping up big time. And hopefully in the future, that will also not be a big problem. But the problem is that we need to get to the internet. As long as our goods are up there, people can see it. Obviously, you're going to get potential buyers or sellers.
So I have a young entrepreneur. He's making shoes in Ghana, and he was trying to get it to the Gambia. And he's making this by hand. And when we checked the prices for delivery, it was not worth it at the end of the day. So how would we transport these shoes? How would you set up shipping for that?
When it comes to logistics, there is different ways you can send goods. You can send goods through by sea. And the sea is two ways, either a full container or less than a container load, which is in pallets as well. In Africa, yes, in some countries it is easy, but some countries it's not easy because you don't have the LCL shipments in Africa. Everything is by container. You need to give somebody to put it in their container. Than to have a company which deals with small little goods with insurance and the security of the people. Africa mainly deal with land. Like in Gambia, you can see lots of trucks, going to Guinea-Bissau, to other neighboring countries and back. And definitely this is a major problem. So I think this is where the government needs to come in, because business is, if communication is there, transport is a big issue.
Okay.
If the transport system is not used properly and the custom department also is not regulated, then definitely our economy, we're going nowhere. Yeah, we're going nowhere. So our custom department as well need to look at the tariffs. Like in Europe here, there is a special tariff for each and every commodity that you send into the United States. You need to have a code for it. They will check whether it is hazardous, whether it is a good quality product, or whether the owner is the right owner. And they look at the value of also the good that you are sending to the other country and how much you are selling it for. But in Africa, there is no control of anything, basically. You can buy anything, you can sell anything at any price. So regulation is our big problem.
Yeah. So, what do small businesses do that might be making certain products as far as proving their product is safe and tested? I mean, for the global market.
Right. This is where Safaro wants to come in because Gambia is famous and known for groundnut production. But like, and not only groundnut, like you'll be surprised when you go to Holland and Barrett and you found the baobab. You know, in Gambia, baobab is nothing. You can go to the bush and get lots of baobab. In Holland and Barrett, 1 kilo of how to call it baobab is going to cost you more than Gambian money, $500 is $500. There in the Gambia, this is so cheap. Maybe it's less than even €1. So the problem now is if you have the product now, what are the recommendations that you need to be able to put this in the world market? Processing, preservation, and packaging. And we are now, Safaro is talking to some people in the Gambia who manage with women about this packaging, how to be able to put their products in the market.
Right.
So we will be able to supply packaging to any businesses, and not only packaging, but Safaro also will be able to put your branding also on it, so that you can be recommended and seen by the world, and you can get
barcode, and they can get a barcode on their labeling. How about
get a barcode labeling and all the descriptions of what the product is all about, the health benefits. You know, Gambia food, everything that we have is all pure organic, which is healthy worldwide. It's amazing, and people are gonna love it.
So yeah, I went to the Gambia. I just got back a few months ago, and I realized the moringa oil, was helping my hair to grow. So I had,
Moringa.
yeah, I had the seed oil. So I had this, and my husband's the one that arranged everything for me to try, and I was like, this is working really great. So I said, okay, let me ship some to America and start selling this. Well, that wasn't real ordeal, because we got maybe 30 bottles of moringa oil. They were $250 seeds each, which I believe is like maybe $3 US. And we got a shipping guy in the Gambia, Musa, I believe his name is, and he got it on a plane, and then it went to Rhode Island. His sister in Rhode Island mailed it from Rhode Island to me in Texas. My friend in Texas got it from his sister, and it was in a package marked batteries and regulators. So she didn't know what it was. So for 2 months we couldn't find the package, and then and then I'm still today. It's like 3 months ago, trying to figure out.
One thing I know, and I have experienced like a couple of times, that in the Gambia now, things are improving. You have the gum post. Gum post basically have connection with DHL, and each and almost lots of countries that they have connections where you can send goods, and they will definitely get to your. You can even track them, and they get to where you are. Though this might be a little bit expensive, and hopefully in the future, Safaro will be able to have the opportunity to have a cargo. So when cargo comes into Safaro, obviously we can get this to your door within 4 to 5 working days.
Months later, and my friend, she finally figured out this was the package that, I had, because I was going to be going to Texas. So I didn't want to get on the plane with, 30 bottles of moringa oil. They might break, whatever. So anyway, yeah, we have to find a much better way to do business, because this is not.
So this is it's an African problem, but Safaro in the beginning, what we try to do is I want to introduce this to the Gambian stores in our local communities. If you are selling something in the Gambia, like you have a mobile phone or a TV, or you're selling a bag of groundnut or a bag of couscous or a cow, at least Safari will be able to help you after posting, at least to get a radius of at least 10 miles or 25 miles radius within your area, which means this is very easy for the buyer to collect the goods. So it's not a very far distance. Unless you are a business person, you want to promote your business or selling your products internationally, obviously, we will do this one also for the people as well. And when it comes to logistics as well, we'll be looking at more ideas, and we'll be having a blog where we'll be writing about where to go to be able to send your goods securely at a cheaper rate. And hopefully in the future, we will meet people who might be willing to come in and invest in a way that we can help our people to ship to some other places as well.
I'm praying it's me. I'll be one of those. The
Yeah.
experience I've had, wow, I know a few things that we need to improve, areas we need to improve. So, Mr. Tom, tell us more about the Gambia, life in the Gambia when you were there, and compared to life now. What has changed and what hasn't changed? What would you like to see change?
When I was in the Gambia, this was way back maybe 20 years ago. Things are different, obviously, from now on. Because what I could remember when I finished well, basically, even when I was in high school, when I was going to high school, Doctor, these are beautiful stories. I used to walk 2-3 miles or more to go to school and back every day, you know. Yeah. And today you might say this is, huh?
A lot of people have that story. My husband,
yes,
the same thing, and he said when he eat the chicken, he would use it to lotion his legs. That's how.
Exactly. If you had oil, like how do I say, Benetton, after eating that one, oh, just even when you wash your hands, you'll be blessed, just to face your hands, so at least you can look a little bit better,
Men are very creative. I love our African men.
Go today. I would say most people so which is good. So access to education is not a big deal today to go and to school. That's a big difference. And in those days, like the reason why I was very much involved with our communities. Right. When I was at the UK Jara Association as a trustee, PR and media, we found that the school I went to, Tahir Ahmadiyya High School, there was no science. None of the students can study science. Hence, we have lack of doctors in Jara. So what happened was that you can only study like the art subjects.
Okay.
Because there's no science lab. There's no computer lab. Most of us never touch a computer until after high school or until when we came to Europe. That was, you can't even explain that one. So that's why we stood up. We be like, we need a science lab, we need a computer lab for our people. This is something that we didn't have and we wish we had. So if we can give it back to our people, let's give back. And we did. Okay. So we had funding, very good funding from Saudi Arabia, and we built a very good science and a computer lab for the community.
You are a builder, Mr. Fofana. You are a builder. Yeah, we've had an educator on the podcast. We've had a uniter on the podcast, and now I was expecting a builder today, and this is what I got anyway, in spite of, wow. So you are a very important, your personality, your vision, because you do it. We talk about it. We see it in our head, but you actually, this is so amazing. Wow. Continue.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
So this is why now I want to connect to everybody, Doctor. Gambia, Africa, we are not hungry, we are not poor. We are the richest of the rich. And we are very sociable. One thing I learned about the way that we are brought up, the way we live in our communities, you can live anywhere in the world. My career in hospitality, this is what helps me. A Gambian is naturally a hospitable person.
I know.
So this is why I'm thinking to say you are poor or you can't do nothing, I don't believe that. I think everything is possible. Everything is possible. You just keep trying. And the buying and selling is an opportunity for everybody to do it. It doesn't cost you anything. So people can buy. Right now, so many people are doing it, but the way they're doing it, I'm not very much satisfied. That's why I'm trying to put it this way. Most people are just doing their WhatsApp status, try to sell,
Yeah.
or maybe put it on their Facebook pages, and they don't get that much traffic. It doesn't get to that many people that they want to. There are lots of women communities today in the Gambia or in Africa who are doing lots of these small gardening projects, and they are doing amazing jobs. I spoke to a couple of people, and they want to sell their products, but the problem is that the market, how to get to the market. Today, in this technology world, you don't even need to be in the market. You can be sitting at your home and you are in the market. That's what we try to do. So whatever anyone is doing, either you are doing a business and you want a promotion as well for your business, we can promote your business to wherever you want us to take it to.
Right.
And the audience will be there because we need this to support each other, to lift each other, to make our economy also much better as well.
Yeah.
So we are in each other's life. And that's why I think Safaro is basically our Mandinka name. Safaro means trading in English.
Oh.
So Safarla means somebody who is doing trading. And me as my family name Fofana also implies Fofana in Africa, not only in the Gambia, but like in Africa, every tribe or so names basically, there is a trade for them. Like even in Europe, if you hear somebody's name called Smith, know that maybe their family were Smiths before. They used to do ironing, I deal with irons.
Okay.
Same like in Africa. So Fofana are called the jewelers. The jewelers are the traders. And traders, what do they do? Safaro means from place to place, buy and sell.
So what
I have did my.
What about the Tal name? Are they the prayers? They
Sorry?
the Tal family. What do you think when you see
I
that?
don't know about much about the Tal family, I won't be able to say
They're
what
the
Tal. If you ask
prophets and the
Tal,
prayers. Yeah.
this is something that Tal will definitely tell you that this is true, and possibly will tell you who they are. Nice.
Okay, so how would our viewers be able to contact you if they would like to get, help from Safaro?
Thank you so much. That's a very good question. To get to Safaro is easy. I think tonight our guys are working very hard day and night on this. Safaro will be, I think, by the end of the night tonight, it will be live. The website will be live with all the social media platforms. So once it's live, we'll be sharing this in the Facebook, in Twitter, in TikTok, in Instagram. It's going to be everywhere. We'll be sending emails to people. We'll be messaging them on Messenger, on WhatsApp. So even if you close your eyes, you will see Safaro. So it's easy. What all people need to do is to go into Safaro website, register, put your details, name, your contact number. If you have an item, you put that item through and the price. You are in charge of your own business. Is your own property. This anyone who is interested will contact you straight away, negotiate, and see how you can do things.
Do you,
Safaro is only helping to put you in the market
do you have an email
worldwide.
you could share with our viewers? Do you have
Sorry?
an email? Do you have an email you could share?
At the moment, we are not giving anything out, but in the next 24 hours, everything will be live there. We'll be contacting people and they will see all the information as soon as possible.
Okay, viewers. So if you have questions, you can send us an email to dr momjaratal@gmail.com. Okay, Tal is spelled like that. And so wonderful. I can't wait because, you know, other communities, they seem to have great marketing and we don't. And the problem is what they're selling is a lot of times not the, you know, authentic, genuine product. You know, it's diluted, it's something else. And we have the rich, real product. How would you market a product that's the rich, real product? How would you market that? Because you know, this is how I ended up getting the moringa shipped from the Gambia, because I went to the, you know, Asian store in New York and I bought the moringa oil there and nothing was happening. So I'm saying to myself, something's not right. So I looked on the internet and they said about 80% of the moringa oil that's in the US that they're selling is vegetable oil. It's not real. So I'm paying $10.80 US dollars per bottle for vegetable oil. So how do we market our rich, real product so that people know they're getting the genuine article?
Right. For example, this might be based on basically these are for people who are doing business startups. What Safaro can do is we will talk to these people and we'll be helping them try to do more researches about the information that they need, because information is power, about the products that they are trying to sell. In the Gambia, we all know we grow from the natural. It doesn't go processed through the chemical way at all. Everything is natural. The product is pure and natural. So what basically we need to do is we will work with the people who are doing the businesses as well, who are trying to sell these products, to make sure they have a proper packaging. And that packaging material will explain every detail about the product. Okay. Where the product comes from, how it is grown, processed, and what are the ingredients in that product. There are labs in the Gambia. Gambia is doing this at the moment, though when I spoke to them, their biggest problem is about packaging. But they got a lab there, they can check the products and tell you each and every bit of it. Yeah. I'm telling you, once the product is there, you look at the packaging, the specifications of the product, you can't compare to anything. And even the price is far more better. Yeah. So this is what we are trying to help our people. And I believe 100% that once we get to that and it's up in the air, honestly, people are going to see it and they will come for it. They will come for it.
Like I said, you know, it was $3 for a bottle. Gambia is selling it. And then if I go to the Asian store, it was $10.80 for a bottle that wasn't real moringa oil.
And I'm sure you've been to Gambia a couple of times. You've been to Serekunda, you've been to our markets, right? How many times have you seen back of paper, the grounded paper, the hot paper, the black paper, our grains like couscous, you know, rice? So women in the market are selling these things in bags, and it's all exposed to the natural air. Though the business is working for them, but how can we get this to the next level? If we can grow lots of paper, if I go to the shop, I just went shopping Friday to buy paper, 200 grams of hot paper. Cost me about €4 in the Gambia. That doesn't cost me even 50 cents. So how about if we are able to get better packaging for that in the Gambia, put in the market here and sell it for even €2?
Yeah.
The whole world will come for it. So it's just a matter for people to know that we have this product and this is what it is.
Because
Once they see that one, the contacts make, honestly, will be there.
Because
Communication is power.
these products are healing products, a lot of them. They give us superpowers as well, you know.
Correct.
Yeah, so what about the current events that we're hearing across, you know, different French speaking countries right now? How do you see this affecting our
Well, you know, Africa is a huge continent with different people, I will say. We are one people, but different people as well. When you look at this, the French colonies, what is happening there right now, I don't know whether it's too early for anybody to say whether they are doing the right thing or the wrong thing, because Africa is changing. People are educated, people have traveled, people have awakened now. And though the bad thing about it is that this is not good for trade and investment. Anywhere in the world where there's conflict like this, like schools or political problems, riots, or some kind of disturbances, investors don't like to go to those countries. People don't like to put their monies in there because the fear is that if anything happens, you're going to be losing a lot or maybe everything. I know independence is nice and it's costly, but Africans have the ability to look after themselves, to be honest.
Right.
Africa is the future. We live in Europe, you know how it is. And life isn't that easy, as free as it is when you are in Africa. You know, like I never know about working nights until I came to Europe. In Africa, if you ask me to work on a night shift, you cause in trouble. It is like this. And everything is so cheap. But the problem with Africa is that the governments need to work together very, very much to help the people, the ordinary people, not to help themselves get rich or have all the businesses. But there are people out there who want to invest big, who want to build factories, who want to do big things. Like, you know, in the Gambia today, I can see that there's change coming in. Youths are going back to farming. They're doing different kinds of farmings and get the things in the market. But the French colonies at the moment, like coming back to your question, I can't tell much, but what I can tell you in terms of businesses, it isn't helping at all. And the whole world is watching Africa very closely at the moment about what is happening when it comes to US dollar and the other currencies, especially the Africans looking at their own currencies. So the whole world is in a conflict at the moment. Wow. But as long as we are all focusing on what can you get, what can you sell, what can you buy to help you, you know, for the future, is the best thing.
So if, you know, our viewers have their items on the digital marketplace or the e-commerce site, do you foresee an issue getting things across Africa because of the current state of affairs?
When it comes to shipping at the moment, you know, when you look at the shipping routes to Africa, majority of the things that goes to our West African region have only two ways. Either they come from Europe or they come from the South African side area. Like when it comes from Asia and Middle East, they come across South Africa all the way to the Nigerian end and to the coast of the Gambian area. So conflict in any of these areas delay goods. Instead of like, if I send a container, can you imagine, from Ireland to the US, it can take 14 days, 2 weeks. In Canada, I could possibly even send it for 10 days. But in Africa, it will take you 6 weeks. And Africa is the shortest way. So there's a big problem there, but also Africa need to invest as well. If you look at all the shipping containers in the oceans, very, very, very few are owned by Africans.
Right.
Majority of them, are all European, American, or Asian cargo ships. If Africa have its own cargo ships, if Gambia have a cargo ships which goes to Europe, it shouldn't take 2 weeks for a container to be in the Gambia. Of course, Gambia can have a cargo ship.
Yeah.
So it's not only when you talk about development, most people in Africa talk about the development on the land, the roads, this, but the sea also is very, very important. The air as well is very, very important. Our economies back home are pushed by the diasporian people. Diaspora need help to have access to be able to bring their stuffs to Africa and also take stuff from Africa. We all want something from Africa. Today, if you ask me, I want Gram Bubu, a nice one right now. I want my plaza stuff to come from Gambia, but I can't get it. I want my cassava from Gambia. I want my groundnut from Gambia, but I cannot get it. So these are things that people need to work on to help us, move our economies and make our life easy as well, to connect as one people, one nation, one destiny.
So when do you see all this happening and working like it should work in the next
Yes,
years, 5 years?
I can see that this is going to happen very quickly. When I first came to England in 2003, it wasn't that easy to send stuff to Gambia. There was very, very less people who were sending containers. Maybe I didn't know more than even 2 people in those days. There was no Gambian business anywhere in Bristol. There might be few in the country, in the UK, that I don't know, but very, very, very few. Even the jobs that people take were not that very good in those days. But today, I can tell you, people are in all field of life. I have a lots of friends who are sending 2 containers every month to the Gambia. Like I told you, the route may be longer, the money may be a little bit too much, and the tariffs also may be a little bit there, but people are getting there. There are lots of Gambian shops now. I've got lots of friends, about 3 of them I know in England, who have the African shops where they're selling African products. And the majority of the products come from the Gambia. Still, the shipping, the logistics may be difficult, the cost may be too high, but we will work on it. So we are going there. And there'll be a time when Africa will be, a place that everybody would like to go do business and have life. It's going to happen. It's a prophecy. We all know.
To happen. So what should our viewers focus on for the future? What would you suggest? Where should our focus be?
I think the backbone of every country is the youths and the productivity of the youths. Though we can't do everything by our own, everyone needs a support. The government needs to look at supporting the entrepreneur startups. People need to go back to the land. I love one thing about Gambia, that eat what you grow, grow what you eat. And this is not only that we are going to grow and eat, but we can grow, eat, make our belly full, and also sell the rest to do the things that we want to do. Gambia is a country that there's no homeless person. Everybody have a home. If you don't have a home, then maybe you left your home to go somewhere else. And where your parents come from, or where you were born, we all have big, massive, empty lands where you can grow anything. and it will grow. You can put bananas there, orange there, anything, doctor, it will be grown. We need to go back to this lands. People need to get access to finance, how to get a borehole, because water is very, very important. Fencing security for your stuff is very important. Once you have these two things, you'll be able to grow. The next thing is Safaro is there to sell your stuffs anywhere. Possibly buyers can just come straight there and then buy your goods. But as long as everyone is involved in doing this kind of little things, though everybody cannot be a grower or a planter or a farmer, but there are people also who can also buy it from you, do the processing, do the packaging, do the shipping, and then our economy will be boom. But government need a big time support to the youths and the women groups as well.
Mm-hmm. You're exactly right. Wow. Well, sometimes we have no choice but to, go in the right direction. We're being forced now. These, French-speaking countries that we're talking about, they've realized that whatever they've been doing in the past is not benefiting them. And we're all waking up, like you said, to the fact that, we have to do something different, make better choices, and work together and have people who can build. So you're one of them. And hopefully, we're going to connect, with more builders like you.
Thank you.
Yes. So we'll let you tell our viewers your final words before we close out our podcast today, Mr. Fofana. What would you like to share with our viewers before we?
First of all, I want to thank each and everyone who is watching us today. And thank you for your time. And thanks for watching. And Doctor, I thank you very, 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 very much for having me here today to talk about Safaro and talk about our communities and how to empower ourselves, how to help ourselves, how to also connect to the wider world. Today, communication is easy. Smartphones are everywhere. What I can tell each and everyone is feel free. We cannot, it's not easy to eliminate poverty, but we can alleviate it. And what doctors just said on your podcast about the healing. So basically, Safaro also come to heal, the economic wounds that we have, So hopefully, Safaro also will help in the healing process to make sure Africa, our people, our community, that we are able to help each other to buy and sell freely, to promote our businesses as well worldwide, and to help in any areas that you want to do in your business. If you need a logo, we are there for you. If you want a flyer, we are there for you. If you want branding, we can make a better branding for you. So anything that you want in your businesses, Safaro is here to help.
Well, I'm your first customer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll look after you.
I've been waiting. So
Thank you.
viewers, if you're interested, if you'd like to get more information, you can't wait until tomorrow, or you want to know how to, get your products on Safaro, you can email me at drmamjaratal@gmail.com, drmamjaratal@gmail.com. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Don't forget to comment below, like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you back here again next Sunday. And hopefully our special guest Mr. Tom from Safaro will join us again in another couple of weeks, couple of months. Please don't be a stranger and come back and join us again. All right.
Fantastic.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
And you too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Doctor. And thank you, everybody. Wish you all